If you read the title of this video, then you must know that I don't give a flying flip. I don't give a floppin' flippity flim flam. That's right, I don't even floppin' give a care. Sue me, or don't, cause I don't even flippin' care about that. I don't even need to lawyer up, cause you don't even have a case, cause I can't catch a case of giving a flop, is what I would say if I was lying. Which I'm not. It seems try as I might, no matter what, I'm doomed to give a care. I actually care a lot about the outcomes of things, about how people feel, about how I feel, about my attachments, about my hopes and dreams, about the state of the world. I'm in a perpetual state of giving my energy to things because things matter to me. I'm what the kids today would call chalant, a tryhard. It goes without saying, being chalant is a really exhausting way to live. It's tiring to give my attention to things, because that's an admission that the things I give my attention to affect me. And with the human attention span shrinking ever shorter, it's frustrating to go throughout the day leaking energy on things until you have no more for the things you wanted to give intentional energy to. There is a balance, to be sure. If you're anything like me, maybe you oscillate back and forth between the state of being chalant versus being nonchalant, caring and not caring. And the allure of not caring is tempting. Don't get me wrong, there's certainly advantages. Let's say something doesn't go your way or your feelings get hurt. If you don't care, it doesn't affect you, and your energy remains intact, ready to be doled out among the things you actually give a flop for. Whereas being detached gives you a shield from the difficulties of living, being attached, or chalance, can feel like being an exposed nerve ending rolling around in a bed of nails. If you don't attach, then there is no disappointment, there is no loss, and there is no lost energy. But if you're anything like me, you always end up chalant. You always end up giving a hoot and a holler. But why? Are there advantages to living a chalant life? There's certainly advantages to being nonchalant. If you're not attached to the outcome you want, you can stay calm under pressure, you can be adaptable, you can be cool as a cucumber no matter what life throws your way. I don't think it's fair to say one way of being is better than the other. There are simply states of being, and people can be whatever they are. However, I don't think nonchalant life is for me. I have certainly been guilty of pivoting too far in the direction of nonchalance in the name of self-preservation, and I recognize that now this was a response to some really stressful things in my life. And while I still apply the lessons it can teach you, releasing expectations of outcome, acceptance of things that are not in your control, I still find myself with burning internal passion. In short, I still have no chill. But that's okay, that's just who I am. And while I think it's just as important to develop your ability to have chill, to regulate your emotions and function under stress, I have found that there are advantages to having no chill too. I think embracing chalance can actually go a really long way. People that are nonchalant, existing in the state of being unbothered or indifferent, will often quote Stoicism. I think some of this comes from the confusion that Stoicism teaches the practice of non-emotionality. But nonchalance is an attitude, whereas Stoicism is a practice. Put simply, Stoicism simply teaches you to focus on what is in your control, and I think that's doable while living with chalance. In fact, it might actually be a benefit to give a care about the things in your control. You see, when you acknowledge that there are things in your life you can control, and you care about them and you focus on them, you can take them to new heights. At the core of motivation is giving a flop. We would simply not do anything if we didn't give a flop. Why would there be any reason to change your circumstances or chase after your desires? I have learned the more I care about something, the more motivated I am to make something work. And sure, sometimes it doesn't go my way, but there is no prouder feeling than knowing you've tried everything you can because you've cared enough to try. There is so much value in being an engaged and active participant in life, in all aisles. Caring enough to show genuine interest in conversation makes people feel valued and listened to. Caring enough to take responsibility for things and being present with the people in your life makes you dependable, reliable, and consistent. And this is great for the people in your life, but it's also great for you. If you can foster a relationship of trust with the people in your life by displaying these characteristics, they will be much more likely to give you the same energy back. And if they don't, you can take that energy elsewhere to people that will reciprocate. Being chalant is like being a living litmus test for the people that will reciprocate your values. On top of that, giving a hoot and being engaged with people lets you get to know them on a deeper level with a deeper sense of trust. We live in a loneliness epidemic where the value from close relationships is worth ever more. And being chalant is like a vaccine from the loneliness epidemic, because people that display indifference have a harder time connecting with others and making lasting, meaningful connections. If you care about people and people can sense that you care about them, they're more likely to stick around. Giving a flip can also teach you about growth, persistence, and determination. If you care about how the things in your control go, you can try to make it work, and this helps you develop grit. Grit is, in my opinion, one of the most stacked qualities you can have in your personality. It's your ability to persevere through challenges to reach your goals. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely a time to accept when something is outside of your control, but applying grit to the things that are in your control can make you kind of unstoppable. For example, you can't apply grit to make people like you, but you can apply grit to finish the novel you're writing or hit a new weight goal at the gym. Caring a lot makes you apply yourself more. On top of all this, giving a flop adds richness to your life. Enthusiasm is the MSG that makes life umami, and how much tastier is a life savored? Knowing you give your all to things, that you care about the world, your relationships, your personal pursuits, you can find meaning in the depth of exploring these things. This whole chalant thing, I'm talking about that zest, okay? That zhuzh for life. There's an appropriate amount of chalantness. Being chalant doesn't mean not accepting that things might not go your way. Try as you might, there are just some things that are outside of your control. You see, living with chalance opens you up to being hurt. It opens the door to disappointment. Living this way can be super painful. If you open up your emotions to be felt fully, that means you open the door to discomfort, to pain, and to sadness. But if you close the door on those emotions, you close the door on happiness, joy, and pride. It's scary, but sometimes we have to do the scary things. And I think it's courageous to live your life with an open heart, knowing God can eat it like a pomegranate regardless. In my opinion, the benefits to being chalant far outweigh the negatives. I guess off the cuff, the point is, why not give a flop? Why not give a care? You're only gonna have one life, and if you go throughout your life not caring about how it turns out, to me, I don't think I would be living to my fullest potential. I feel like so often we're terrified of being perceived to actually give a care, But if you care, if you're a carer, if you are a tryhard, I think it's okay to apply that passion to your life. Anyways, I will die chalant, unless a string of cataclysmic things happen to me within a very short span of time and I don't have time to bounce back and it just keeps happening over and over and over again, I'm probably gonna die chalant. I'm probably gonna die giving a hoot, because guess what? I kinda care too much not to. Anyways, I hope this rambling has been insightful for you. Also, I dropped a new album a couple weeks ago. You can listen to Dreams Like Patchwork, Leave Me Rough Around the Edges, anywhere you can stream music. Okay, bye!